Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host of Dane, Master Propaganda Heroesreich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on the road to Kharkov. Between in the north, we got Paul AD fighting here for the Wehrmacht for Deutschland. Whoops, double time, did not mean that. Do that, but here playing for the Wehrmacht. Deutschland with the mechanized assault fighting out here for the 5th SS Panzer Division Viking versus in the south, Dullahan fighting for the Soviet Union. Taking on the role here of the 6th Guards Tank Corps with urban defense in a very rare appearance, and he's got a single bullet here for tank ramming versus Podium with mechanized assault. He's got bullets for mines and machine guns. M&Ms. Double assault going to start here for Paul AD, bunching out there with those men, moving up close and dangerous. Or at least that's the plan with them. Though obviously the Wehrmacht really wasn't huge in just equipping larger formations with submachine guns. That was more of a Soviet thing. So I think the Americans did to a slight degree at times, but overall it was very much a Soviet thing. The Wehrmacht sort of either been happening in some cases with the Volksgun division where they couldn't equip with assault rifles, and even then they would have been regular sort of machine gun rifle units. So, you know, always something I found a bit weird. It makes more sense for the Soviets to call in fully equipped submachine gun units besides the shock troopers, but go figure. MD-42 there arriving for Paul. Dullahan there, of course, with urban defences, making an assault. This is going to be very interesting. Got 3 conscripts with them versus 2 assault grenadiers and 1 MD-42. If you can catch them sort of before they get too close, of course, Dullahan should be able to win versus their assault grenadiers. If they can't get close in the first place, the conscripts will get trouble. And there we go, we got a quick Ura away. Assault grenadiers they're going to have to sprint, and they're going to focus on ones that sort of have the least friends about. So far, no attempt at sprinting by Paul to catch up with him. I mean, you'd figure he would do that to minimise the time the conscripts have to actually shoot at them, but instead he's just sort of running around there regularly and just taking as many hits as he can, which is perhaps not the most efficient way. There we go, conscripts already pushed away. MD-42 moving in from the north. Dullahan getting a 4th conscript, thusly more infantry. Assaulters are taking a few hits, need to pull back. There's simply too many conscripts and there's simply too much open ground, and so far he's not exactly showing himself to be much of a sprinter there, so that's only going to make things worse for the assault grenadiers. There you go, standing right behind, there you go, a bit too close, but there you go. Will he sprint? Conscripts here by the way splitting out. Not bad, he's showing you he loses one conscript, the other squad should be able to get into good hits. One assault is going to have to retreat already. Still no attempt at sprinting, and there we go, lost one already. Harsh loss there, harsh loss for Paul, and that's definitely a win there for Dullahan. That's 280 manpower down. He hasn't exactly suffered huge losses from it so far. Getting more assault guns to replace the losses suffered so far in the fight against the communists. Back at base, see if we got no upgrades for Dullahan. He's got access now to the forward headquarters. He can plonk it down if he wants to. Conscripts moving up there, Pioneers shooting a bit back, MD-42 probably going to set up, people do with some of the conscripts. Now go moving ahead there with their MP-40s, primary submachine gun used by the Germans during World War II. They had actually a mix of them being utilised. They used Italian, Danish ones, which were actually designed by German, and even Russian ones. In fact, they converted, I think, of a few million PPH-41s to use German ammunition, as an example. Bunker up here, medic bunker. Pioneers bringing the MD-42, trying to set up there, but at the same time needs to flank exposed. We're seeing some very aggressive tactics there from Paul, but also a bit reckless in some elements. And again, I think lack of sprint really is a bit an odd choice then to go for a lot of assault grenadiers. If you're not going to use the sprint, I mean, sprint is overall a pretty good ability to have. And again, it will allow you to minimise the amount of fire the enemy can get off at you. Quick Ura, MD-42 getting away there. And we got a maximum away for Dullahan to help control the battlefield, to help deal with the assault grenadiers. Not a bad idea at all. And Tech up here, so like to make a nice company, could fill up here for Paul and for the 5th SS. Viking. Initially composed to some extent of volunteers from Scandinavia, which also included Finland. Though later in the war that was largely dropped, and most of the volunteers were transferred over to the 11th SS Panzer Grenadier Division Nordland, except for the Finns who went back home to Finland. There would still be some who remained within the 5th SS. They were increasingly in minority there. But still a little fun fact. Assault grenadiers rushing back, conscripts hanging back there on the main road, MD-42 there on its own. Paul really playing a high stakes game here again. I mean, he's leaving his MD-42 in a very forward position. Very little sort of line of sight, flanks very exposed. At the same time, the Dullahan taking advantage of this current force composition here of Paul to sort of strike at several weak spots and just try and sort of bleed him out that way, and of course denying resources. Well done there. Assault Grenadiers strike in, but all here retreating, in which case the Assault Grenadiers simply can't get enough damage off. Maximum rolling ahead here. So far, no usage of Doctrine by Dullahan. Now again, I mean, it's going to come down to having to choose a really good building. If he wants a fort headquarters up, choose the wrong one, it can end up being wasted resources, so quickly cut down. Paul adding a 2-2 in. We also got flamethrowers up here for the Pioneers. Still, Paul is holding on to a nice chunk of the map, but he's having a hard time holding it more directly. And there we go, we got the fort headquarters up here, rather forward position in fact. Allowing his men to fight better, more determinedly, plus of course it's a bunch of medics, and of course also reinforcement points right here, so this is going to be a bit of a nasty position there for Paul. Have to deal with, and he's getting another MG42 here to help control the battlefield. Not a bad idea at all, not a bad idea at all. Constantly moving in, they're going to get healed. Losing these here to Paul, but Dullahan seems more focused just here and funding from down. Obviously, I mean, he set up this point, so trying to use that sort of used to fight onwards is probably a good idea. To just moving in there, spots what's going on. Paul's back. Now, in this sense, Paul's got a few options. He can either try and call up a mortar just blast away, or he could try and go for a flame for a half tech, which would be able to sort of quickly light this on fire pretty rapidly thanks to its double flamethrowers, and just burn it down that way. Of course, watches the Pioneers, but that's going to take too long, and there's a lot of conscripts. The flame for a half tech, for some just moves up through here, just sort of use the terrain to get close, burn it, and then pull back. Pioneers, there we go, and the soldiers moving in against the conscripts. Conscripts get surrounded and pushed off the field. Conscripts being pushed back there by the 2-2-2. Additional Pioneer team out there for Paul. Conscripts under fire there from the 2-2 assault grenadiers moving up. We got a mortar on the way for Dullahan, adding some artillery to him first. Perhaps he's expecting the mortar as a counter here to this, and actually wants to sort of, either sort of hit it around the same time, actually get ahead of Paul and have his own mortar ready there. There's certainly a few options there. We got infantry company up here, so looks like Paul is thinking for the mortar. Obviously he needs it since he skipped straight ahead to tier 2 using an assault grenadier, and another assault grenadier squad got wiped out. Oh dear. There we go, hit by a mine. That's another blow there to Paul and his infantry. I mean, he's really just not getting much out of those assault grenadiers. He's not sprinting with them, but at the same time the assault grenadiers obviously aren't necessarily quite that good for 280 manpower, which is obviously one of the bigger issues. I mean, their grenades are hugely expensive. The sprint's alright, but that's about it. And certainly with veterans they get better, but the trick is getting them there. In particular, in most standard infantry, you can just shoot them to bits before they get up close. But still, I see some players using assault grenadiers to a certain extent in the early game. It tends to be hit and miss for them, I find. But there you go, he's getting the half track and a mortar. Looks like he wants to pull off sort of two tactics. At the same time, we got a 45mm gun called up here for Dullahan, which I've actually used late into the wall though. But the later stages usually sort of set up in ambush positions, like sort of shoot into the side and rear armor of tanks passing past them. But still, they saw usage actually, and usually in part of what was known as fortified regions, with sort of a Soviet defensive formation they would use to sort of hold up against German counterattacks. Had a lot of anti-tank guns, machine guns and like, very light on infantry. If I do not remember incorrectly. There you go, Flammpanzerwagen on the way. He was going to attack, he probably shouldn't be attacking head on again. There's an excellent path to sort of strike up here, and so far Dullahan, I mean he hasn't done much here, so Dullahan is completely just focuses here, so flamethrower after striking in there could do a lot for Paul. Meanwhile, mortar fire raining down there, catching poor Sergei, crashing his skull and possibly other bits. Back at base here, Dullahan's already taking up here, taking advantage of sort of things so far, sort of push against Paul. With further armor, whereas Paul's sort of hanging about here. With the light stuff, they've tier 2 since to rush for it, but at the same time hasn't really been able to leverage it any further. Panzer Grenadiers would be a good choice, I think, soon enough. To carry over the assault grenadiers simply can't really carry. There go conscripts running forwards. Oh dear, don't tell him he's going to attack from the front there. Away flamethrower after revealed to Dullahan. We'll try and call up a second M42 to try and deal with it. Take head on, 45mm gun firing away, careful. Anti-tank grenades. And there you go, Maxim cooks it up there. Not entirely sure what Paul would do that, drive it straight into the where fighting was thickest with it, with no real support. I'd figure, trying to attack the forward headquarters with it, burn it down. Instead of that just being left to the mortar. Basically, that was a waste of a flame for a half tank. Real shame. Meanwhile, constantly moving up there. Engineers moving about. Maxims M42. Another MG42 there on the way for Paul. Trying to get Pioneers ahead, but still got the Maxim there. He really should be trying to attack straight down here again with Dullahan's defenses are concentrated. He should be hidden from the flanks again. I mean, Dullahan's left flank is really, really weak. It's almost, kick in the rotten door and the entire thing falls apart weak. Not quite there, but, close. If for some reason Paul decides to charge in there, Dullahan is strongest. Which is generally not the best idea unless you really want to prepare with a lot of smoke that way. Chance to use the smoke to cause confusion. But if you don't, you just, causing yourself needless or senseless harm. Got a T-70 on the way there for Paul Dullahan. Paul on the other hand has got no anti-tank. He's got a 222, that's it. He's got a second mortar, actually adding a bit of sort of light artillery superiority there versus Dullahan, which should help out a bit. And the forward headquarters by the way is down. Plus, of course, you can actually lay down a lot of smoke with it, lay down a massive smoke screen if he actually wants to. And there you go, T-70. We actually, whoa! What is this? We got armoured vehicle detection being utilised. I don't think I've seen that used in like a year or more. I mean, this is a really rarely used ability, partly because it costs 60 munitions. Sure, it allows these vehicles a minimap, but 60 munitions just for that? Yeah, that could probably do with a nerf, or perhaps a change, from armoured vehicle detection to, I don't know, some kind of bonus versus vehicle somehow, the anti-tank grenade perform better, perhaps, I don't know. Oh, he double MD42s, double mortars. He's got a lot of support weapons. He's rather short on infantry, though, to carry the fight there for Germany. And meanwhile, Dullahan's moving ahead. He's got the fuel point denied there to Paul and the 5th SS. Down here, we got an infantry holding the victory point, though, pushing back Dullahan's troops. Mortify there in the Grenadier method. The other one's still firing in from the north here, getting off some hits there on the maximum mics. And we got the T-70. He's actually using recon mode, so quickly scout ahead there, look for targets and lights. We can actually see the Dullahan's very interesting in knowing, where all of Paul's troops are at all times as much as possible. And we got a 250 half-track out here with Panzer Grenadier in it. Could we be planning to get them Panzerschrecks and just use that to hunt down the T-70? I mean, that would be one way of doing it, though. It is a risky way of doing it, but it is a way of doing it. But it can be useful versus the T-70 versus heavy attacks, though it's less effective. And again, armoured vehicle detection. Crikey. Mortar there, Maxim in a nice little house, though under fire. Ergo is going in the Panzerschrecks, the Raketen Panzerbüchsen, as they were also known. Usually formed into anti-tank teams of about 4 man, 2 to fire 2 Panzerschrecks, of course the rest to carry ammunition and load for them and such. As the war progressed, the Germans actually focused more on Panzerschrecks and actually reduced the amount of anti-tank guns most divisions and such would have, much to the chagrin of the guys who then had to do the work up close. But it's a little fun fact there. It certainly heralded the end of the anti-tank guns in modern warfare, I think. Now 74-2, they have Pioneer support, got a mortar wing headed very aggressively by Paul. I mean, he's forced to do that since he doesn't have a lot of infantry, obviously. Dullahan further strengthening the grip on the map, and he's got now a mechanised armour company on the way, going straight for the T-34-76s. Maxim holding up there. Half-track just waiting for the T-70 to strike. Mine went off there, almost driving the Pioneers. Good work there by Dullahan mining up. 84-2 going to use the house, mortar on the Maxim. Heavy losses inflicted, well damage more or less, but they're still standing. Do not be afraid, comrades! It issues high explosives from above! Do not mind Petrov and Sergei dying! I'm sure they were cowards anyways, and not real socialists. Now entire unit there got wiped. Dullahan perhaps was a bit too focused on what happened in the centre to pull back his maximum time. So small victory there for Paul. Could even secure it and use that versus Dullahan. Further multiplier there. Conscripts on the back. T-70 pulling back as well. Only one M42, but again versus light vehicles he doesn't really need more than one. Tripwire flare mines going off. So Paul is making a much more focused push here through the east, but Dullahan isn't quite as strong there, so trying to break through the centre. Good tactical decision there. And basically just overwhelmed Dullahan there securely and slowly moving ahead there. Needs to get up there with the 222. Needs some support there, and he also needs the 250 after there to be repaired. Dullahan, I imagine, will go for the T-34-76 as soon as he can, and Paul will be a bit short there to deal with. He's only got the Panzerschrecks to basically do, so he's got no anti-tank guns, and so far no sign of armour on the way. No tag up there for, say, Stugi or a Panzer IV. I mean, he could go for the Stugi, but that's obviously not the best method for dealing with the T-34-76. Get under fire there again. The M42 opens up, closing in on Veterans U1, gets the tracking ability. Bet you on the scout car, maximum up there, advancing conscript source. Dullahan's assault here might not work out. Being pushed away. Tripwire flare mine going off again. Dullahan really does a lot of things here to basically just keep track of his opponent. We got armoured vehicle detection, we got scout mode on the tank, but also now tripwire flare mines. I mean, Dullahan really is just trying to sort of keep his eyes out for whatever Paul might be doing there. It's really some sharp play in that sense. Smoke going down to cover up the assault as well. Hot diggity damn. Hot diggity damn. That's definitely worthy of praise there. So few people actually do it, but there we go. Dullahan did actually attack the Indian precision head on, and he put down smoke to do so. Brilliant. Panzer there taking heavy damage, also allows the truck, in case things go wrong, to also just easily retreat through it. We've got a Stugi up here for Paul now being called in. Meanwhile, infantry make good progress in the east there. They push into the centre, of course, disrupting. He can't quite respond to it yet, though. Of course, the Stugi will probably use that to deal with it. Half track with Pioneers in as well now, forming up a small assault detachment. Pioneers and assaulters moving ahead here, sweeping away the remaining elements of Dullahan. The T-70 is in a bit of trouble, has to pull back. Stugi rolling hits, 250 supporting, almost got the anti-tank going through there. Assaulters actually clearing it out. Pioneers moving up there, assaulters pulling back. Stugi too slow, too slow. T-70 escapes. T-34-76 moves instead. Stugi misses. Recruiting the anti-tank gun right under Paul's nose. He might actually want to try and recruit it just to turn it against Dullahan. And there we go, steals away the M42.
We have 200 points remaining.
Also a fun fact, the Germans used their own anti-tank gun, the Pak-37, Pak-36 I actually think, sort of related to the later stages of the war. They had to, but though the way they did it was actually by utilising a small charge on the head of it, sort of a heat round, which had to be sort of placed on the front of the barrel, couldn't be sort of loaded regularly. So that way deal with things. Still a little fun fact there. He did have punch, but they had to be really close to do so. Just got that there. Mortar left behind. I mean, if Paul were to grab that, he'd have 3 mortars versus Dullahan. That would be a lot of light artillery. At the same time, Dullahan's really adding in a lot more M42s. That's a lot, actually. But again, considering what he's facing, I mean, as long as Paul doesn't bring up any heavy armor, the M42s will do well. Another tripwire flare mine leaves poor Jürgen, and Fritz dead. Nasty work there. Dullahan's really getting a lot of mileage out of all the things he's using. It's just all small, cheap, inexpensive things, but they're having quite the effect on Paul. Another one there goes off. Crikey. In fact, that was 2. Meanwhile, good pressure up here again. Paul a lot more focused on so just brute swings, and that does leave always some point there open for Dullahan to creep through there. So Dullahan having a good tactical and strategic sense of the battlefield. Maxim rushing forward. He's got MT42 actually. And M42 there got a hit on the T-34-76. Panzerschrecks flying off, getting some hits as well. Coming up in the M42 there. Panzerjägers moving up there with their Panzerschrecks. Right here, the M42 moved a bit too close to coming in from the assault grenadiers. And the Maxim. He could actually be rushing it with assault gunners. Looks like he's more interested in taking the territory, missing an opportunity there to get another M42. MD42 taking hits. We've got the T-34-6 moving up. M42 needs to be close to the front line. MD42 up there. Bit of a mistake there, I think, that of Paul. And there you go. Another M42 crew cooked. Dullahan left a much explosion there. Go quickly crewing it with Pioneers. Now he's actually got several anti-tank guns there secured from Dullahan. Another T-34 on the way for Dullahan. It's time here for the mid-game analysis. Counter in terms of damage. Paul's a bit behind. Kill-wise he's doing alright, but damage definitely falling behind there. I think in part because he wasn't really able to get those assault grenadiers off the ground initially, and that really I think gave Dullahan a bit of extra sort of damage there. Of course, also a lot more light vehicles, which Dullahan's been able to do some damage to with anti-tank grenades and light anti-tank guns. Army value-wise, Paul's sort of a bit behind, but now sort of really finally getting ahead there. And territorial-wise, it's pretty much Dullahan sort of controlling, because again, Paul's much more about aggressive attacking. He's not much of a defender to a certain extent, but at the same time, he's getting some good hits in there, I think, at times there versus Dullahan. So we'll of course have to see what further goes down the road there for Dullahan. Adding in more tanks is a good idea, perhaps a few more support weapons. He could consider Coh2 for some artillery bombardments to strike out a few targets, particularly the anti-tank guns that are falling into the hands of Paul. Otherwise, the current tactics and strategy so far, he seems to say going for could work out, though he might want to consider some more mines here and there, perhaps some demo charges. And I think booby traps actually work out quite well. They can be quite useful at times and can even get off some wipes on the unit. I'll just grab as many weapons as you can from Paul and turn them against him on top of that. But I think, perhaps a third T-34 and then sort of try to pull off some great flank, for example, if we were to consider the current situation, drive through here and then hit Paul in the back with those tanks, that could work out quite well. Down the road, of course, he'll probably want to get some issue 5s or something like that to help deal with an eventual Tiger, which it certainly seems like Paul is playing for. Paul, I think, should consider some regular panzer guns to sort of carry the infantry fight. He's really leaving everything to the support weapons and the vehicles, and to a certain extent it can work, but, one wrong move and he can certainly find himself falling a bit short there. So some regular panzer grenadiers to the proper fighting, I think, would be a good choice there. Otherwise, fuel caches, if he's really playing for the Tiger, he's eventually going to need something besides the Tiger. So, fuel caches, and otherwise tag up, get out some armour, some Stugs, or some Panzer Forces to work with the rest. And does, I think, need to leave something to sort of defend the sides here. Leave him perhaps a machine gun taken from Dullahan, or lay down a machine gun bunker, something like that, or perhaps some minefields. I mean, he's got bulletins for it, yet he's not using the mines as of yet. So that could at least sort of buy Paul some more time to act any harassment there from Dullahan. So let us return to the fight and see what happens next here. Concentration forwards, Maxims, anti-tank guns, T-34, and there you go. Stug there delivers a crashing blow to the conscripts. Also, fun fact, they actually existed a 250 half-track variant with the same gun as the Stugi. In fact, they mounted that gun on several sort of light vehicles, including one 234 variant. There's the same chassis as the Puma. It wasn't with a turret, but also the 251 half-track had it. Fun fact there, for those that weren't aware. Engineers constantly make good progress there, and we've got the second T-34 round there for Dullahan, ready to strike fear into the hearts of the fascists. Entertaining caught by the conscripts. Dullahan, Paul bit too slow in pulling it back, but no infantry really supported. It is quickly cleared out. Niemark making good progress here. Dullahan, Paul leaving his fuel pod exposed there. What's an easy target there for Dullahan. It's 2-2 moving in. Pioneers bring about. T-34's getting ready. Conscripts retaking the anti-tank guns. Stugi needs to be careful. Got the T-34's moving up. Anti-tank gun quickly up with the 2 mortars. 5 and 12 kills. M42 turning about there in service of Deutschland. Which I believe would have been called Pack 45 R. R standing for Worcestershire. Fun fact there. 2-2 moving in. Assault and conscripts. 2-2 pushing back the conscripts there. And we get our T-70 on the way there for Dullahan, so he's using sort of light tank to support the T-34. Interesting move there. Perhaps reconnaissance or perhaps sort of flank and hit sort of infantry targets. Who knows? Panzer VI flying. We got a Pack 40 up here as well now for Paul, adding in some more serious anti-tank weaponry there besides M45s and Panzer VI. Though, whoa, moving up the Pack 40 rather briskly there. That's a bit aggressive there for Paul. Panzer gun moving ahead. Machine gun hanging back, they're supporting. We got MG4 Jack 9 in the hands of Dullahan as well, which would make things a lot more unpleasant for the infantry there of Paul. Anti-tank gun cleared out, but the Panzer infantry is pressed, mortar raining down across the place. The T-44 forcing up to flanking on the right side. And light artillery barrage straight on the MG42 there from Paul, calling in some vengeance from above. striking in here. Not trying to the anti-tank, instead he's flanking about, going right past everything. Going for the more exposed eastern route. Good, going straight for the Stoogie. Anti-tank has to turn. And then a T-70 strikes from another angle. Good work, this Pack 48 could also go for, since that's more occupied with the T-34s. Paul, not realising what's going on quickly enough, might quickly find his Pack 40 white, plus a lot of support weapons. There you go, Pack 40 down, Stoogie about to go down. Well executed flanking assault here by Dullahan. 2-2 Ultra in trouble, Mortar in trouble, there we go, Mortar white. Oh dear, this is absolutely decimation of Paul's forces. Machine guns, packs, mortars, scout cars, assault guns. It's all just falling apart here for Paul under this very well executed assault there by Dullahan. 2 thumbs up. Good use of the T-70s well to quickly clear out any support weapons while the tanks sort of drew their attention. Very well done there, very well done there. And certainly I also think highlights some issues that Paul's how he sets up things. And the lack of mines. Quickly wrecking the anti-tank guns, looks like he's got no intention of using them. In which case certainly wrecking them is the better choice. Mines being pared down here to break up any fresh assaults there from Paul. Well done, but Paul is closing there to the target. He just needs the manpower. We also got minefields now covering the eastern part of the map. Assault gunners are hanging around the house ready to collapse on them. That is not the brightest idea ever. There we go, wiped. That was a bad idea there by Paul. Very poor tactical move. Now Paul's best hopes might actually sort of rely on the Tiger at the moment. His infantry can't carry the fight versus all of this, I fear. Using the T-34 as a minesweeper. Technically though, they did have mine rollers for that actually, sort of attached to some T-34s. I believe they would actually usually spearhead assaults to clear out any minefields laid down by the Germans. Another armor detection, really curious about Paul maybe strike again. Finally laying down some telemines, but a bit in the too late department. Pack 40 and the T-70, almost got it. Close there to losing the Pioneers and the telemine. That would have been awkward there for Paul. A pretty nice win there for Dullahan if he pulled off. Sandbags repaired. Dullahan perhaps not feeling quite aggressive enough to sort of go through, but instead just preparing defences, preparing for an eventual attack there from Paul and making it as difficult for them to sort of push through as possible. So there we go, about to say should repair the tanks. We got a Katyusha on the way, rocket artillery, deal with any infantry and support weapons. Half tank rushing forwards, that was reckless, that was a bit the opposite of what Dullahan did. He charged his lightest units straight into where things were thickest rather than trying to find a path to flank in and do some damage that way. Tripwire flare mines going down in, still a partly active minefield. You know, Sergei, perhaps we shouldn't be digging here. Don't worry. What's the worst that can happen? We blow up? Ha, ha. There we go, Tiger up here. From the 103rd SS Schwere Panzerabteilung. Rolling ahead at full speed at the same time. We got the Katyusha out there for Dullahan. He's lacking a bit in the initiative to deal with the Tiger from the front, but if he can flank it with the 2 T-34s, perhaps ram it from the rear, he might be able to pull something off. He might come to take a huge hit there from the Tiger tank. Half the unit gone already. Almost got the full lot there. Needs to upgrade the machine gun over there, Mr. Paul. T-34's been repaired. He's got the M45, that's it really, and the T-34s. He needs to get on the S-85, he has an S-56 to deal with it. Maximum up there, close range, mortar fire ring down again. Seems like Dullahan forgot what happened to the last massacre in that position. T-34's moving ahead. Panzer going to be moving up, going to fire the rockets. Going to find there, go Tiger using the terrain here so we now get close. The tree line and such, and there we go. T-34 taking hits from the Pack 40s, needs to pull back, no, it's engaging from the front while taking hit from there, go, Pack gets it. And there you go, ramming with the last T-34, stunning the Tiger, but sadly doesn't have anything to follow up with it, so that's just basically a waste of the T-34. Probably should have disengaged it, to be honest, tried to find a better sort of fight there instead. He just stuck around and lost his 2 T-34s for, well, very little purpose. It's right there, Paul has basically managed now to get the upper hand, he's got a Tiger. Dullahan's finally getting a field gun, but still, Paul's got a bit of time in now to push forwards, but he needs infantry. He's lost his panzer grenadiers. He's down to Pioneers, machine guns, mortars, a Pack 40 and a Tiger. So he needs more troops, he needs more infantry. Otherwise I don't think Paul will be able to keep up with this, even with a Tiger. Almost got, there we go, M42 down. Constant's flanking in. Oh, Truss tries to crew it. Constant getting wiped in the process. Heavy losses there for Dullahan's men. Do not worry, you shall all be heroes throwing this tiny anti-tank gun versus that mighty, huge Tiger tank. Do not worry. And he's got maximum up on the MD42, suppressing it. Tiger rolling ahead. Paul's victory point, where they're looking pretty grim. Katyusha, he has shot. Getting the victory point, still not getting further troops. Almost there's one there for the Tiger, 16 kills for Deutschland. As MD42 there pinned to the ground by the Maxim. We got the Tiger running to save the day. Back at base, nothing further happening then for Dullahan. Not much happening either. What shall his response be to the Tiger? How will he try to deal with it? Decent rolling hit there, and straight into the Pack 40, and then the Tiger. Another loss there for Dullahan versus Deutschland. We're about to lose his Katyusha there if he wasn't careful. Oh, gutted. That was entire vehicle pool, they're gone. Glory be to Deutschland. Tiger rolling back there. A steel behemoth. A slayer of communists. He's moving up there. Might want to allow shoot infantry, and he really should consider machine gun just for added anti-infantry firepower. A bit in for them, I think, a bit. Paul getting some more Panzer Grenadiers. Good, good. Unit wipe there. Dullahan's really suffering as a Tiger, and he's, well, greater lack of counters except the field gun. Damaging, yeah, thanks to an anti-tank, and he's going to have to put back the Tiger now, I think. Another hit there. SS-6 calling in there now. He's really going on the Tiger hunt there. Panzer Grenadier pulling forwards for Deutschland. We should at least get another one though. And we got smoke being called down here, I think, by no, it is not by Paul. Instead, it is Dullahan laying down here just in case it seems something happens in that area. Also allows attack to lay down the mine without anyone being able to see it. Cheeky. So nice use there of smoke by Dullahan. So far. Comparatively, Paul with 2 mortars is yet to use smoke at all. It just keeps launching head-on assaults without ever apparently considering, you know, maybe some smoke would make this thing work better. There we go, SS-6M arrives for Dullahan. His first assault gun. MD42 there pushed by the other MD42. Baseline artillery duel between the two. Paul's got the numbers.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Tiger almost fit for fight. Paul really also should consider taking up. He's getting more pioneers though, and he's also taking up finally. And he upgrades the Panzers with Panzerschrecks. Ah, Paul.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
Panzer Grenadiers have more uses than just getting Panzerschrecks on them. You got a Tiger, you know. Perhaps consider some more assault infantry to push the way forwards. Cuts moving in here, coming the fire from the Tiger. And there you go, shot from the 6 scores a penetrating hit down the Tiger's thick hide. He's getting another one. Dullahan really wants that Tiger dead. And going for the cheaper option in this case. Discounted destruction. Rather seems to be the theme here for Dullahan. He basically tries to use the cheapest option whenever possible. In some senses. But soon he can get up support more core, in which case some Panzerforce troops to support the Tiger I think would be a pretty good choice.
The HQ has been upgraded.
There you go, got the tech.
Medium armor and rocket artillery is now available.
Smoke screen again to cover up the centre. La la. MD40 caught with the Maxim. Panzer taking heavy damage. He's not able to take advantage of the smoke due to this sort of Panzers, which rather threw off the assault plans there. Meanwhile, another artillery barrage right here on the Maxim. Most of the artillery though seems to have little to no effect there due to the part of the sound. There you go, sandbag crumbling, so does the Maxim crew. As the shrapnel tears through them. Meanwhile, Tiger pushing through straight into the field guns and the SS-76s. A lot of damage there. Tiger damage engine, less than half health here. Paul made a rather sizable blunder there. Feel he's trying to blitz up, but it's not working at all. was a definite blunder there by Paul. Again, if he should have laid down some smoke if he wants to charge through the centre. And he'd done so well with it. It seemed to me Paul's very much a bruiser. Thug, in a certain sense. Which rather means, you know, he's not quite as tactically astute as Dullahan, who again strikes here and there, uses cheaper small units to defeat bigger units, but also uses a lot of smoke, mines and such. Keeps track of where Paul is and isn't. Conscripts MD42 moving ahead here. Pioneers moving straight to the conscripts and the engineers. Bit of damage there, quick rah. Oh dear, careful there, finding in a minefield then. Barrage off there. Lots of explosions here and there. So what will Paul get there from the support armor? Coh2 is going to try and play for another Tiger. Got T-Fit on the way there. We've got more minefields. Getting absolutely molested out there. Slaughtered, cut to ribbons. Only one man is left standing. And even that's rather close to being disputable. Another smoke screen there to deny the MD42s. Good work there by Dullahan. Good work. Astoundingly good work. Panzers here versus conscripts and engineers. And getting a Sturmgeschütz Ausführung G. If only had that to support the Tiger, maybe then flanked with the Tiger instead of just charging again through, but it was thickest. Remember, Blitzkrieg isn't to charge through the enemy where his defenses are strongest, it's applying as most forces he can where the enemy is weakest. He can then sort of more quickly sort of push through behind.
We have nearly won. The enemy is down to 25 points.
Another smoke screen there. From Dullahan. He really likes those smoke screens. It's really great to see, to be honest.
Stuke 3 ready to deploy.
There we go. Stuke 3 arrives for Paul. Will he get another one? He'll try to go for a Panther 4. T-54 setting out. MD crew there wiped out. T-54 rolling through everything. So smoke the support here versus the Pack 40 is good, though I don't think the mortar has range enough to smoke it directly. There you go, good hit. There Stuke goes on the hunt for the T-54. Needs to be careful, needs to be careful. The hunt continues. Few hits from the Panther Sec, but he had oh, got one S6 to the Stuke. Got a field gun though, got a field gun, and the S6 they need to pull back the Stuke. Got the T-34. Further heavy armor was there for Dullahan, but he's about to, Stuke about to go down. He's blocking it with the S6. Got artillery called down here, but still couldn't get quite past there. The S6 was blocking. Got the S6 as well. Brutal trade-off there.
Destroyed one of our vehicles.
Field gun makes it away just barely. So what will Paul's next move be? He's down to 7 victory points, though. He seems to be holding on here. He seems to be holding on versus Dullahan. Down here we got conscripts versus Panzer going to deal. Oh, the conscripts are low on health versus the Panzer. There we go. Gebaldeladung flying through the air. And there we go. He actually predicted him to move forward. Dullahan almost fell for it, but didn't quite there in the end. One Panzer down, one assault rifle, but still low on health, low on numbers. Mortar crew lost. He's pushing through again with smoke, doing his best he can to deny the max, allowing him to grab the point there. Unharmed, unit wiped here by the looks of it. Stopped either way. Tripwire flare mines again doing the trick. Another Stuke called in the Paul. Desperate, he just uses calling units now. He needs more infantry though. More infantry. Why don't you get any more infantry, Paul? Even some assault guns will do alright now, I think, to a certain extent, if just to grab territory. 1 victory point left for Paul though. Pentagon is losing numbers, moving up the mortar. Need to retreat, need to retreat. He can't afford this rate of losses. He can't maintain this. There you go. Conscript stole the Panzerschreck right under Paul's nose. Mortar crew wiped by the Stuke. Calling out another Stuke. Paul is desperately just spamming them now, it seems.
We are losing a sector.
afraid of the Furious Fury. If he cannot hold this. Engineer's wiped now. Dullahan getting an SN6, field gun moving up. Stugi needs to be careful. He needs to grab that victory point as well. He needs to make sure there's at least possibility that Dullahan even just held anything for any brief long time there. Stugi's fought before back, got pack moving up. Stugi's from behind the MG there. High explosive round after high explosive rounds falling down upon them. Field gun moving up, SN6 moving up. Pack 40 nearby to support though. Pioneers moving up. There we go. One is Stug down, one Stug down. Almost got the MG. SN6 takes a hit. MG completely annihilated. Grabs the mortar. Pushing up through the centre again. Smoke screens off there. He's got 2 machine guns on it. Why wouldn't he leave any machine guns there or there? Oh dear. Paul seems to have slightly lost it. 1 machine gun down. No Mollis was all about it for Dullahan. And there we go. Game over. Ultimately, just needs to keep 1 victory point, but just rendering sure Paul's neutral. And there we go. Dullahan won. Bit close at the end, but ultimately, Paul, while aggressive in certain centres, rather had some tactical issues. He ultimately just kept preferring the extremely brutish, brutal way, straight through the enemy lines, and that usually cost him quite a bit, and occasionally just cost him a lot while gaining nothing. He never really seemed to be much of a flanker, and Dullahan was able to exploit that quite nicely, while using overall cheaper, sort of smaller forces to a large extent there. So I mean, there's really good play there. Dullahan, mines, tripwire flare mines, reconnaissance of different methods. We saw forward headquarters, light anti-tank and I'm surprised no booby traps for good use of T-34s, although that one engaged was the first tie, and the tie there I think was a bit of a miss there. But overall, very well played by Dullahan. Very well played by Dullahan. Paul, I think, relies a bit too much on brute force, not enough in flanking, not enough in manoeuvre, and not enough in infantry. So there's definitely some room for improvement there for Paul. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gives you different matches to improve your own play. If it did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a new player and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers, and see you all another time. Bye.